Hello everyone, I am Rabia and thank you for viewing this video. My presentation is going to focus on crime and victim concept of Medusa poem written by Carol Duffy. The purpose of this presentation is to examine the poem Medusa within the scope of crime and victim and to explain its historical relations. Right, let's make a start. This presentation is divided into 5 main parts. In the first part, I'm going to give you information about the poet, Carol Duffy. In the second part, I'm going to give some information about Medusa. After that, we will analyze literary devices used in the Medusa. Then I'm going to show you historical context of the poem. And in final, I will talk about concept of crime and victimizer in the poem. Now at the screen you will see Carol Duff, the first woman poet laureate of the United Kingdom. She is a much admired, award-winning female poet. At the same time, she is the first openly lesbian poet. Duffy's works is based on themes such as gender issues, violence, oppression, social inequality, and contemporary culture. Also, she likes to write dramatic and monologue text, as you'll see in her Medusa poem. Medusa is told in the first person as a dramatic monologue by a woman who is insecure and worried that her husband is cheating on her. The poem begins, a suspicion, a doubt, a jealousy. And it is this jealousy which has turned the woman into a gorgon, and now everything she looks at turns to stone. The poet tells the poem through the Medusa story we know from Greek mythology, so this is a metaphor. But when we listen to the story from Medusa herself, we get a better understanding of what she feels. You can access the whole poem here. If you want, you can stop the video and read the whole poem. I will continue to explain it line by line. So here is the language and literary devices used in the poem. Actually, the whole poem is an extended metaphor of Greek mythological Medusa. Then we can see the extensive use of snake motifs because of the hair of Medusa. The language of poem, threatening and harsh. There are many allusions to Greek mythology. Imagery, synthetic parallelism, alliteration, metaphors, rhetorical questions, and single line stanza in final. We have this. In the first stanza, we can see an alteration with the letter S. We can see allusion to the mythological Medusa in blue lines. Also, on the first line, there is an asyndeton, which means 3 colons, 3 parallel words. In the second stanza, we have repetition. And there, repetition is used to show how distracted she is, while saying foul-mouthed, foul-tongued, yellow-fanged. And also, in ballad tears, there is an oxymoronic metaphor. Actually, she is sad and broken while saying tears, and revengeful at the same time while saying ballads. Here is the third stanza. In green lines, we can see hypophora. It is a form of speech in which the speaker asked a question and then answered the question. And there is again asyndeton. Also, I'm not sure, but Greek gods can be an allusion to Poseidon because Medusa is killed because of Poseidon. In the first stanza, we can see Medusa's turning from a lovely person to evil person, and symbols are used to show us her transformation. We can say the same things for fifth stanza, but there is something else here. If you look at her word choices, you can understand that she loses her emotions and she is getting more evil. Here she looks at the mirror and she realizes herself. She is as destructive as volcano. In the seventh stanza, we have two metaphors. First is, his heart is close to love and protected by a shield. The second is, his words are as sharp as a sword. And also, there is an oxymoron, sword and tongue. Besides, the last two lines are a rhetorical question because she is not waiting for a response. And the final stanza, there is a colloquialism, which means dual meaning. This line can be a painful sentence set up as a plea for her sadness, and also can be a threatening sentence because if he looks at her, it will turn into a stone. Actually, Medusa started her life as a lovely girl, but she is so beautiful that she gathered the jealousy of the people. The god of the seas, Poseidon, admires Medusa. One day Poseidon rapes Medusa in Athena's temple. Finding this situation humiliating for herself, Athena punished Medusa by making her a gargon. At the end of the story, she was killed for being raped. Right here, we are in a position to talk about being victim. In Greek mythology, Medusa has been told as a bad character. In fact, as I said, Medusa was the victim in the story. She was raped by Poseidon, but he took no responsibility and blamed Medusa. It was Medusa, not Poseidon, who was punished even though she was not guilty. After she is abused by Poseidon and betrayed by Athena, she wanted to take her revenge as a result of her suffering. Also in this poem, a stance is taken against men who hurt women. Again, we see the pain of a woman who has no crime. She turns into a gorgon because of her feeling of betrayal and jealousy. She both describes her pain and uses threatening sentences because she revolts against these pressures created by men on women. And again, Medusa was killed for being raped. With the development of feminist ideas, the perspective of Medusa's story began to change, but as you can see in the picture, images of Medusa's severed head are still exhibited in many places, including politics. Mary Bird, a professor of ancient literature, criticized the use of Medusa's head symbol. And here is my presentation end. Thank you.